Since the 17th century, the white man came to exploit the natural resources of the south of Brazil, on a level far beyond that of the simple economy of its natural inhabitants. He considered himself to be the center of all things. To his whims and fancies was subordinated the life of the other animals, the plants, water, the sun, and the air. Conflict was inevitable. Superior military techniques broke the impetus of the proud warriors of the Guarani tribes. Their numbers were further reduced by their use as shock troops, principally in the cavalry, during the Portuguese and Spanish colonial wars. The Portuguese colonialists used the Indians as cheap labor, denying them their land and submitting them to physical and cultural degradation. In small numbers, they were gradually absorbed into the surrounding population.
Levou uma flechinha? Fala, não quer falar comigo?
Não, não quero não. Flecha não quero não. Você tem balaio?
Tem aqui, ó.
Quanto custa?
150.
150? Não faz por 70?
Não, 100.
100 cruzeiro, então.
100, então eu vou comprar. Me dá um aí, me dá aqui.
Missionaries further undermined their cultural heritage. Even today, evangelical missions persist on the Indian reserves. Amongst other habits resulting from this continuous inter-ethnic contact is the use of Western-style clothing and certain long-forgotten fashions of Jesuit origin. The results of cultural interchange can also be seen in the almost constant adoption of modern instruments and musical styles of all kinds.
Velha, eia tu velhinha, eia tu velhinha, velha, cucova amin, eia tu velhinha, cucova amin, eia tu velhinha. Aí. Tá vendo, mãe?
Rarely can an ancient Kaingang chant be heard, or words that remember the original tongue. However, the knowledge and use of primitive plant medicines persist.
Foi de antigamente, foi assim também. Né? Que para nós não temos remédio, mas nós podemos.
For us, we don't have medicines. Before, we didn't use white man's medicine. We used this little herb here. This cedar is also a medicine for us. There are lots of plants around here, so many medicines for our use. Our father left it here for this purpose. Now we use white man's medicines, and that's the way it went.
Ali em cima. E agora tá. Agora nós culpamos o remédio do branco. Foi ainda assim. Para nós é tudo é o remédio que tinha do mato desse aqui. Esse aqui também é o remédio para nós. Nós vivemos só para nós aqui.
In Chapecó, the Indian reserve of Santa Catarina, a woman speaks of childbirth, the Guarani way.
So that the child is born well, so that we don't feel pain or get weak, we know of medicines from the forest. The child's grandmother prepares them. The mother has to squat. Lying down is more difficult. After the placenta has come out, you have to cut the cord with a piece of bamboo so that the baby is well and strong. To make the milk flow, we wash our breasts in tea made from ashes. When we are pregnant, we don't eat food with salt. And when the baby is still small, we don't step in cold water or cross the river. When we have 10 children, then it's good.
The Kaingang woman works as hard as the man, and, as in the past, social organization of the community is based in the family, which as a general rule is monogamic. It is the woman who stores and revives all that has happened. It is she who balances, in the rhythm of her walk, and on her back, the same child that she carried in her womb. It is she who lifts and carries the child, and who squats to rest. It is she who warms the child that sleeps in contact with her body. It is the women who pass their lives pregnant or nursing. They who, when children, carried their younger brothers and sisters, and who, when reaching the age of 15, have their first children. It is the women who, squatting, prepare the food. It is she who knows. It is the woman who squats to give birth, and who prays to gods that are lost. And it is she who teaches.
Senta tudo ficou. No mato eles faziam assim, marar pau assim e garava assim. E sentava assim. Algum leva, às vezes meio-dia, até tarde. Agora eu fui uma mulher que nunca levei 2 horas. Era só aquilo, quando eu sentia, ia sentar agora na minha cama.
In the woods, we do it like this, squatting. Some women take half a day, even longer. But I was a woman who never took more than 2 hours. It was just like that, just sit. I never had anyone to help me. It was always with the father, my husband. Then for the cord, I took a stick of bamboo. There were sticks already cut for that. There was never anything of the placenta left over inside. I never had any problems. Now, about the others, I don't know. You get tired and have to go out and rest the body, and then nurse. But there are children who want to suck as soon as they're born. I raised all my children on my own milk. I never used bottles. I'm the mother of 12, not counting miscarriages.
Mas se a criança, tem criança que nasce já quer mamar, né? E aí a gente era obrigado a mamar um pouco. Nunca criei meus filhos na mamadeira, assim, tudo no peito. Tudo. Mas de mim que estou contando da minha nação, né? Porque eu sou índia e sou cão.
Birth, the one constant in life. From the womb to the breast, from the breast to the earth. They nurse for 2 years, sometimes longer, even 5. When they nurse, they don't menstruate. When they menstruate, they become pregnant again. 12 children, 12 lives. The gradual and relentless transformation of nature surrounding the reserves profoundly affects the life of the Indians, provoking their dispersion and consequent abandonment of their lands to the interests of big landowners. Or, in the attempt to adapt to a sedentary life, they run the constant and ever-present risks of survival of modern society. In the city, breathing the air heavy with unburnt wastes. In the countryside, intoxicated by chemical fertilizers and poisons sprayed over the fields. Where does this process lead? Even believing in the force of nature, even believing in love, this film was motivated by work realized in the Chapeco Indian Reserve in 1973. 170 Indian women were examined and 4 cases of cancer of the uterine cervix were detected. We extended the work to a further 12 reserves where 770 women were examined. We diagnosed 2 severe dysplasia of the uterine cervix. Sent to our clinic were 1 choriocarcinoma associated with tuberculosis in a 16-year-old patient, 1 carcinosarcoma of the uterus, 1 breast cancer, 2 epidermoid carcinoma of the uterine cervix in an advanced stage. 90% of the Indian women have their children in the squatting position. The average number of pregnancies is 12. Infant deaths at birth are very rare. However, from the 12 pregnancies that she has, 5 children die after the first year from infectious diseases, giving an